Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to another live stream that I am doing for you specifically if you are a Zazzle designer and want to learn more about the platform, how you can make money online with Zazzle, and also knowing and understanding the Zazzle platform. Because a lot of people are switching over to print on demand, and I just love scrolling through my Instagram feed and seeing all the things that people are doing and promoting AI technology, print on demand, all of these things that are making things seem so easy for you to make money and make lots of money in a very short amount of time, but it's actually not the truth. They're just getting viral videos and they are spewing information out there that is like one fraction of what it takes to make money and take a profitable business and make it work for you. And so in this video here, we are talking about why any niche is profitable on Zazzle and why Zazzle, first of all, is the best platform out there for print on demand. Like I mentioned, my Instagram feed, my YouTube feed, because those are the things that I'm looking at, right? Because that's my world. Print on demand is my own space. This is a place where I go to find information about competitors. Is what I do to research what I can learn more about the Zazzle platform. And I want to learn more about graphic design. I want to learn more about all the things that are included in what it takes to become a Zazzle designer. And so what I get fed, let's call it, on my Instagram and social media platforms are all these other competitors and people who are promoting all of these other things that, yes, sure, you can potentially make money on, but it's a lot harder. And it's also pretty much like not 100% the truth. Like I said, it takes a while for you to create a profitable Etsy business. However, people on Instagram are showing you that you can just create a graphic in Canva, then find something in Printful, put it up on Etsy, and apparently you're going to make $1,000 like that because the stats from Everbee say that this product made that product $6,000 or more. Sure, that product probably made that money, but it's probably been in the marketplace for a while, and it's also part of a very specific niche, and that curator or that designer has been taking a lot of time to do the research to figure out why that t-shirt would sell, and also has other t-shirts in their store, and that's not just the one product that they've decided to make and then all of a sudden they're making $1 million. So that's my 2 cents of all of this information that's out there on the internet these days for people who are just putting out the fact that you can go onto Canva, find some sort of product on Printful, put it up on Etsy, and then make a lot of money, because that's not what the whole business is about. I've been on Zazzle since 2008. I started in 2007, towards the end of 2007, started really working on Zazzle in 2008, and I'm still making money on the platform to this day, 2025, because I figured out how to implement certain strategies in my store. All of these fads that are happening where you can create AI technology and make this X, Y, and Z, those things are going to die out and they're not going to be popular anymore. And those trends are going to go away. And unfortunately, if you're basing your information and your factual, let's follow this person and let's see this person as a leader or an inspirational person who is a coach or somebody that I can learn from, it's just going to go away. It's going to jump up and down, and it's not going to be useful in the next couple of months or even years, right? Of course, it's really important to learn about all the new coming and technology and use it to your advantage, but know your information and know what you're consuming, because on Zazzle, it is a platform for you that is very easy to start out with, and also that you can create products on their platform, and there's not a lot of moving parts. It does take time, right? It is a business that over the long time, like the long haul, not long haul, but it takes time. It's not a business that you can make $1,000 tomorrow. I mean, there's no guarantees or reason why maybe you couldn't or could. I can never make any income claims. Maybe all of a sudden tomorrow you sell something to somebody from a big corporation and they buy 1,000 badges. I made $500 the other day selling badges. And that came out of the blue because my badges only make me a couple of cents here and there every day. And then all of a sudden somebody bought literally like 800 badges, and I had the referral. And so I made over $600 on one order. So you never know what can happen, and I can never make any income claims. But Zazzle is consistent, okay? And Etsy and all of these other ones are not something that maybe you could want to dabble into, but it's a lot more work, and it's also proving to be a little bit more complicated. Even just recently, Society 6, I got an email. I've been on Society 6 from when I first started out on Zazzle, and Society 6 is kicking off and removing some of their designers because they're not up to par of their standards that they want to design and have on their platform. Thankfully, Zazzle is not at that point because I don't see that foreseeable in the future, because Zazzle makes a lot of money off of random designers that particularly maybe only have one or two products that sell in their store, but those products sell a lot. And over time, that's a lot of money for Zazzle. So Zazzle is a platform that not only has so many pros versus cons from other platforms, it's consistent. And there are so many niches and products that you can create. There's over 1,500 styles and design theme types of products that you can choose from on the Zazzle platform. And you can create those products within specific niches. Yesterday, I went and did a live stream talking about all of the unique wedding products that can be made in your store to sell in weddings. And we covered a couple of really cool products that not other platforms have. And Zazzle is so robust in always trying to create new relationships with different manufacturers and creating new opportunities for designers to get them to sell different products. It is an amazing platform that has a wide range of things beyond t-shirts and mugs and your typical, what they used to call print on demand, right? Now we have matchboxes. Now there are pens, there are banners, there are duvet covers, there's cornhole sets, there's beer pong tables, there's wine bottle labels. Like, the world is your oyster. I keep saying that, saying a lot. I don't know why recently. The world's your oyster. The sky is the limit in terms of what you can create on the Zazzle platform, because there are so many products that are available. So this is why I'm getting into the topic. I know I've been talking for a while about a whole bunch of other things, but the topic of why any niche is profitable on Zazzle. So a lot of people have the misconception that weddings are the only thing that you can get into and the only thing that's going to make you money on the Zazzle platform. But that's not the truth. And yes, of course, weddings are very profitable. And if you are tapping into the right type of market, following the trends, getting the right products out there, you can make a lot of money on weddings and wedding invitations, because when someone plans or buys things for a wedding, they're usually buying in bulk. That's the main story about it, right? You're not just selling one wedding invitation. You're selling 100, 150, 200, maybe 75. And so those are bulk orders. And of course, then you are going to make money in weddings. And plus, weddings are something that happen every year consistently. And it's a monumental moment in someone's life. So they are clearly going to try their best, if they have the money, to spend money on this event because it's special. It's when you marry somebody. It's a huge life-changing moment. So clearly weddings do make a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that that's the only niche that makes a lot of money on the Zazzle platform. There are so many other opportunities for you to dive into birthdays, to dive into business cards, to dive into sports-related items, to dive into home decor. It really only just depends on what type of niche or niche that you're getting into, and also your abilities to look at what's actually popular in the marketplace. And I'm going to be very harsh right now and say something where not everyone can design everything in every niche, okay? You have to figure out what your niche or niche is and what you are good at, and also understanding that there has to be a transaction or a relationship with the customer at the other end, right? I can't just all of a sudden design a really weird doodle and I like it personally. I'm like, oh, that's a cool doodle. I'm going to put it up on a tote bag, and that tote bag's going to sell because I like that doodle, right? I don't know. Let's call it like a weird like stick man figure. I can't draw, right? For anything. And so if I put a stick man on a tote bag, I'm like, yeah, awesome job, Jen. Pat myself on the back because I drew that and I find that that was my best piece of artwork. Does that mean that someone's going to buy that stick man on a tote bag? Probably not. But just because I like it and I feel like this is a good piece of artwork from my own perspective, it doesn't mean that there's a customer on the other end trying to buy that. Maybe somebody might find it funny, or maybe because I'm talking about this YouTube channel right now and I make a tote bag with a stick man on it, somebody's going to buy it because I'm, not famous, but famous on YouTube. That being said, as a Zazzle designer, you have to, and a Zazzle seller, you have to really tap into what your hobbies and interests are and what you're good at, and also compete within the marketplace. And I'm not saying that you are a bad designer or a good designer, or somebody who has like artistic abilities is going to sell more than somebody who doesn't. You just have to really hone in on understanding that this is a business And a business means that you are providing the goods and services to someone who wants to buy those things and that there's a transaction of money, right? So why any niche is profitable on Zazzle is because, first of all, Zazzle is an international platform, worldly known, ships all around the world, and there are billions of people in this world that are looking for things to buy. If you have a small niche, niched down niche, and let's say you are providing tote bags for knitting, like knitting people. I love to knit. I love knitting. I love sewing. I love crocheting. So if you're providing tote bags for somebody to put all of their supplies in, and so that they can go to their knitting club or that they can bring it to the couch and watch TV with their everything in one little fashionable bag, that is a need that needs to be served. Now, what design goes on that tote bag? Make sure that it's a design that actually caters to the knitting or crocheting or sewing niche, because if it's all of a sudden a ladybug and it says knitting is awesome, that doesn't resonate with me, because I don't know if ladybugs actually are related to knitting somehow. Maybe you liked the ladybug and thought it was a cool design, but that doesn't make sense. If you were to sell a tote bag to a knitter or a crocheter or someone who sews, you would have knitting needles on the bag. You would have a ball of yarn. You would have maybe a needle point, something and or a saying that made sense to the knitting or crocheting community, because that's serving the need. That is providing this person who likes to knit and to crochet a tote bag, and they need that tote bag to put all of their supplies in. And then it also makes sense to them. And every time that they look at that tote bag, they're reminded of, the fact that they love knitting, or they laugh because it's a funny saying or a quote or something like that. Right? So if you have the talents or not the talents of being artistically inclined, you still have to tap into that market. And there's so many availabilities out there where you can download graphics. Canva Pro is a really great one. You have to be very wary of, obviously, copyright infringement. And there are some lawsuits happening right now. So AI technology is awesome. But if you're creating also graphics with AI, I can't guarantee that that's something that's going to be something in the future with the problem. So look for places that are legitimate and that you have the proper contract. But there's places out there where if you aren't an artist, you are able to download or purchase graphics and post them up on Zazzle for, to post for sale on those products. All right. But coming back to any niche is profitable on Zazzle, it's toning in on the person that you're serving. Right. And so I know that I do have some people on here. So if you want to, you can definitely write in the chat here because I'm on live, so I can answer your questions. We can chat. If you're watching this as a replay, then I would definitely write in the comments here and say, do you have a defined niche or niche? And are you serving your customer or client, whatever you want to call them, or perfect avatar in the right way possible? Okay. Because the worst and saddest thing that I see on the Zazzle marketplace, a lot of people are getting to be a lot better designers because we're leveling up. Elka and I think that, not to take pride in the whole transition of what Zazzle has now become, but Elka and I started coaching 8 years ago. Our first course came out 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago. And since then, the Zazzle marketplace has up-leveled completely from what it was first. When I first went on the platform and started designing, it was junk. I also created junk. And so we've now up-leveled, and so many more people are designing at a higher level, which is amazing. And you're able to do that. And there are tools and techniques for you to do that if you're not at that skill level yet. And that's where Elka and I come in. Elka's my mother, and her and I are coaches together. We're a mother-daughter duo team. And we teach people how to make money online with Zazzle. And so if you're not at that skill level yet where you're like, I'm really interested, but I don't know what niche or niche I want to get into. I don't have the abilities to create products. I don't think I'm artistically inclined, and I'm a little bit lost, but I do want to make money and I do want to commit to creating an online business. Then we are here for you. Okay. And in the comments, you can write something. You can also go to our email, send us an email. We can chat. You can go on to elkaclark.com and figure out a little bit more about us. When this video is posted, once again, because I'm going to upload it after it goes live, because I'm live right now and I can't put the links in. I will put a link to a download for you that will help you figure out your niche. It is the 150 Zazzle Trending Niche and Designs download, completely free. And there's also a link for you if you want to learn more about how to start your Zazzle store. It's a 3-part mini challenge, mini series, if you want to call it. You will be sent a video every single day into your inbox, and you can watch that video, and it will help you set up your first store, post your first product for sale, and also do Zazzle promotion for your products. Okay, so if you're in that box where you're like, I'm committed, but I don't know where to start or I don't know what to do, please help me. Those two resources for you. Go to elkaclark.com. I know the links aren't in the description of this video because I'm going live, but you're able to get access to us and we can help you. Okay, and that being said, we are in a couple weeks opening up the doors to our Profit by Design Academy coaching program. And so keep an eye out on that in our community because we are welcoming new members and we're excited to get the new cohort going. And that's in a couple weeks from now. All right. So I want to now go on to Zazzle and show you that there are possibilities for you to provide products in any specific niche and also profit. I can never make any income claims. Okay. So please remember that I'm not telling you that you are able to make $1 million or money, here or there based on what I'm telling you, but this is all facts and information for you to take into account and understand that people are making money online. Zazzle is growing and growing and growing. That's why they're able to source new products. That's why they're able to do more marketing. That's why they're able to do X, Y, and Z, because the Zazzle designers are selling. Okay. And I know it's scary to think, okay, well, oh my goodness, if I go into the Zazzle platform and there's a million other designers on there, how am I going to compete? Well, if there's competition, then there's demand. And you just have to figure out where you fit in with the demand because everyone is a unique person and a unique designer on Zazzle. So even if I were to tell you, hey, create a baby shower foam board that's pink and has a script on it and has the baby's name, design that without copying this, but be very similar as you can, you would still make some sort of different version because each and every single one of us has different preferences. We have different design styles. We have different eyes for different things. And your own personality comes out in your designs. Okay. So that being said, you're able to compete within the marketplace and within different niches because you bring your own uniqueness to your products and to your brand and to your product choices and your niches, okay, that you choose to go into. So, for example, at the time of this recording right now, this is the homepage. So clearly Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm wondering how quickly somebody could buy something and get it delivered before Valentine's Day. It's February 7th today. It's a week from now. So they're still promoting Valentine's Day. So I would recommend that you definitely you don't need to post Valentine's Day products right now because I don't think that they will particularly sell. You can post them for next year. But this is not telling you what products to post. It's just saying that there are niches available for you in so many different places. So occasions is one of them. Weddings, clearly, we talked about that one. Baby showers, birthdays, and personalized gifts. So, for example, anything with a name, anything with a monogram, anything with, a photo on it. Just be very wary. And I like to say this too because I like to take pride in this. But my mother, Elka, she was the one who pretty much invented the monogram on products in Zazzle. And so just make sure that when you create a monogram, don't copy somebody else's monogram because that's literally copying somebody else's design. Make it different, choose something different, stand out, because if you're just trying to get another buck here, to be honest, it's not going to work for you. Okay. So any type of niche will work for you. And I said, clearly you have to figure out what you are providing to this person who is on the other end of the screen. Unfortunately, you can't, reach out to your customer and say, what do you want? Imagine you had a store that had clothing or food or sports equipment, and you were able to literally talk to the people in the store because they walked in and they did like a lap around, and then all of a sudden they walk out. You could stop them at the door and be like, hey, is there something that I can help you with? Or, hey, I saw that you didn't purchase anything. Can I ask why? Or are you looking for something and you didn't find it? X, Y, and Z. You can get information from those people. And they were like, well, your style doesn't match what I want. Or you don't have the color blue in your store. Or sorry, you don't have vegan products. All these things. And then you can get information. And you're like, okay, well, clearly the people who are coming into my store need to have vegan products in my food store because I'm living in a vegan community. Whatever things happen, right? On the Zazzle platform, unfortunately, you're not able to do that. But you can take the homepage and then also the search results as market research and see what people are particularly searching for. Zazzle clearly does a lot of marketing to promote on their homepage what's popular and what's trending. Clearly, that's part of the marketing scheme, but it doesn't mean this the end all and be all, because you can see here that there's a lot of things that are like full sort of around weddings and then also other things too. But we can see what gifts are under $50, first of all, and see what's here, because gifts are something that people buy, especially on the Zazzle marketplace, and what types of themes or trends are happening here. I see a lot of photo gifts, a lot of photo plaques, and I have tote bags. We talked actually. I did a video of this. I don't know if it's actually out yet or not, but we recorded a video talking about the popular products. But you can see there's certain types of themes when you do the gifts under $50, right? Then I'm going to go back, and then they obviously say photo gifts, gifts for her, gifts for him. These are all gift ideas, which is one sort of theme or niche, okay? And so they are mostly personalized. They have photos, they have fonts and text, and they have names or monograms, things that you can personalize, and it's something to do with the person who's receiving the gift, okay? Then we get into weddings, and there's a whole bunch of products for weddings. But that being said, there's whole many other things here that we can go through. So shop by category. So let's go into accessories first of all. So we have accessories, and they have a whole bunch of fashion accessories, clothing accessories, keychains, luggage tags. You can have an entire Zazzle store that has products for clothing items and home decor items or accessory items, okay? Then baby and kids. So not only is baby and kids, you can create like baby shower invitations, because a lot of people go and focus towards the stationery and things, but you can create a whole bunch of other things regarding clothing, home decor, feeding supplies, clothing labels, and there's so many other things here for baby and kids, all right? Then we go into clothing and shoes. So this is adults clothing and shoes. We've got some really neat hats and socks and leggings. There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with this. And it's interesting because when we go and click on all of these categories, there are actually more the physical, like things that you can use and touch and feel and have on your person or use as an accessory, because a lot of people just run and jump to going and creating stationery for whatever reason. Because I know that people definitely want to capitalize on the fact that weddings happen all the time, birthdays happen all the time, graduations happen all the time. Clearly that's a very, very good business decision to make, right? And I do personally coach people on how to like tap into those marketplaces, because you are pretty much, and I can't make any income claims, but pretty much are able to sell during the entire year because these events are happening throughout the entire year, right? And then Zazzle's promoting on all of these other things, all of the other items that still sell and are also very popular, because a lot of people don't jump to the conclusion like, oh, maybe I should go and make an Apple Watch band, right? But Apple Watch bands is on one of the most popular sorts for gifts under $50. And if you were the one who made that Apple Watch band and you're on the first homepage and someone's buying an Apple Watch band pretty much, on a daily basis because X, Y, and Z as a gift to replace their own, for an event, for some sort of, fashion accessory because they like to change it here and there. My partner, his daughters, they change their cell phone case every single week, or every single day pretty much, based on their outfit that they're wearing that day. And so people are here in the marketplace buying certain things because they want them and need them, not just stationery and things that are associated with events or parties, okay? Home decor, pillows, blankets, cookware, kitchen and dining, doormats and rugs, lighting and electrical, bedroom, garden and outdoor decor, area rugs. Like imagine how you could curate an amazing store all about home decor. Now we get into invitations and stationery. This isn't obviously the one that everyone jumps to because it's a good secure income, and also the events happen every month, every year, reoccurring, etc. And also it's a price point at a reasonable price point, and it's also probably an event that somebody is going to spend money on. They've already planned for their wedding. They already know that they have a budget, right? So they want to spend money on these things. The other things are gifts and extras, and stationery, but they are still profitable. I have some clients that sell business cards and binders and stickers and address labels and everything to do with business stationery. That's their entire store, and they are making a lot of money because they are catering to the business market. I have other clients that are selling to what do I want to say, like to teach, catering to teachers and anything to do with teacher printouts, teacher notebooks, teacher tote bags, all of those things. And they are making quite a bit of money as well because they are focusing on the teachers and what teachers need. So although all of these product types are very interesting, like pickleball, skateboard, sports equipment, all of these things, who are you catering to? Zazzle offers so many amazing products. Like imagine lawn games. Look at this. What is it? Like the tic-tac-toe drop-in thing. Yoga mats, pickleball, cornhole sets, ping pong, playing cards, beach towels, all of these musical instrument, guitar picks. So who are you catering to, and who is your your perfect avatar, and why would they buy a pickleball paddle? Would they buy a pickleball paddle that's a modern pickleball paddle or a vintage one? Or is it for somebody who's a little bit more sporty and actually wants something to do with pickleball on it? There are so many opportunities for you to tap into all of these different niches and tap into what your customer wants and needs. Wall decor and artwork, canvas prints, there's wallpaper even, So who's your person? Is your person, let's call her Stacy, and Stacy is a no, let's call it really hone in. Stacy's 35. I'm turning 35 this year. Stacy's 35. She just bought a new house 2 years ago. She's starting to finally have a little bit more of disposable income because she had to buy her house. So it's very expensive, furnish the house and everything. So now 2 years later, she's finally able to spend a little bit more money on decorating her home and making it a lot more personalized for herself. And she really likes the color scheme green and gray and muted pastels. And she has limited space because it's a smaller home, so she doesn't need anything too fancy, but she likes to have the little personal accents here and there. What can I make for Stacy so that she would be inclined to buy from my store? Well, I would start out with maybe a pillow or maybe a duvet cover, maybe a lamp, maybe some wallpaper, maybe a poster, an art poster here and there, an abstract poster, maybe some hand towels, anything to do with the bathroom, all of those things. So me thinking about Stacy's not getting married right now. Stacy just bought a home. Maybe she's just finding her new partner, starting to move in with him, living with him. They're not getting married quite yet. She's probably thinking about that in the next 2 or 3 years. So Stacy doesn't need anything with stationery or wedding stuff right now, and also definitely not anything to do with babies because she doesn't have a baby. So I'm going to focus my store on focusing on Stacy's needs, and that's home decor and anything related to how she can now make her house a home. All right. And that is super important to know, right? Because you have to understand how can you cater to the person that you're trying to speak to and sell to. And what would Stacy like? Would Stacy like a drawing, a doodle, stickman doodle from Jennifer? No, she wants high upscale but cheap and budget friendly posters slash artwork slash home decor that makes her house look luxurious, but she doesn't have to go and spend $1 million and buy everything from Louis Vuitton or Chanel or whatever, right? And so it's just creating this avatar and understanding why this person is going to buy the products that you're selling. And like I mentioned, you don't have to be super artistic, but you do have to keep up to snuff and up to scale to what's being competitive in the marketplace. Or if your niche is so niche down that that these people who you're catering to, like let's say you do artwork or I've had clients who do Bible quotes on notebooks. They don't have to be very artistic. You just have Bible quotes and you have inspirational quotes, and you are catering to somebody who wants a notebook or a journal that has an inspirational quote from the Bible. But those people because my client knows those people because she goes to church with people who like to have notebooks with Bible quotes on it. And I don't want to get into religion or anything like that, but I'm just saying that there are opportunities for you. If you're not creative and you're not artistically inclined, you are able to tap into something that makes sense to you as a person and that you speak to, and then translate that into something that you can create, and you will definitely reach your potential customers because you are in that space. And it comes down to your hobbies, it comes down to your interests, it comes down to what you know, right? Your perfect avatar is not Stacy. Mine's Stacy because exactly what I just talked to you about is what I want because I know those things. Stacy's not some goth that is going to punk rock music concerts and going to steampunk, comic cons. That's my brother. I know him very plays Dungeons and Dragons, very dark, needs likes the color purple, deep purple and black and all of those things. That's a completely different person, but that's not that's not my life. That's not what I'm interested in. I know those things because my brother and his wife are interested in those things. Literally, like truthfully, that's the truth. So I know a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons. I know a little bit about Comic Con. I know about Marvel. I know about all the comic books and all of those things. But I'm not catering to that avatar because that's not what I live and breathe. What I live and breathe is fashion, high upscale things. That's why I got into weddings and doing luxurious weddings because I love creating beautiful things. And that's part of my whole history of being coming from a fashion background. I went to fashion school. I tried to go to business school, decided I wanted to be more on the marketing and advertising side of things, and that would take 10 years to get. And so I dropped out and I decided to go to fashion design school because I've always been very creative. I've always taken clothes and recreated them ups. What's it called? Oh, what's the word again? Where you take something, upcycled them since I was little. And so fashion is in my blood. And so I love creating beautiful things. And I was in high fashion. So I would make runway type clothing where I was haute couture, high end couture. And so I was always above and embellished over the top. And I never could have, something simple. And so I could translate that into now my wedding invitations where I was always over the top and everything had to be luxurious and everything had to be, pretty looking and whimsical looking because that's what my inspiration is from. And a lot of my inspirational designs from when I created my fashion design things were taken from, whimsical books like Alice in Wonderland and a whole bunch of other fantasy stories that I used to read and translating that into real life. Alexander McQueen, he was one of my biggest fashion designer idols. Fortunately, he's no longer with us anymore. But that sort of style translated into my wedding invitations. And so even though I wasn't artistically inclined, I still had an eye and an idea for it. And so how can you take an eye and an idea of what you are interested in and translate that into something that you can create on the Zazzle platform? And that's where the magic happens, right? You feel good about making those products. You feel confident because you know your stuff. You're not out of your element. I know that some people are now dabbling into other niches because they're like, well, I see the potential in weddings. Weddings freak me out, but I'm going to try. Yes, weddings are a scary beast because it's not easy to make a wedding invitation. There's so many different combinations, whether it be formal, informal, and it's save the date, then it's the wedding invitation, RSVP, the writing, please join us for the wedding of, or we cordially invite you to the wedding of, or together with our parents, we invite you to the wedding of. Like I've got those all down pat. So sometimes when you get into a new area, it freaks you out a little bit because you don't know how to even compete, even though you have the right designs. But it's okay because you just live and learn, right? Understanding that you're always able to take in new information every single day. And whether that be even watching this YouTube video today and being a little bit inspired and saying, hey, I can figure out my niche and I can really tap into that. And maybe what I was doing previously isn't 100% what I feel 100% confident in. And that's why I'm not moving forward because it should be fun. Zazzle, of course, you're making an online business and you're trying to make money, and making money is a little bit stressful if you don't see the results. But at the same point in time, if you're creating your designs out of love and passion, you are going to see probably more results if those designs are being made out of frustration and overwhelm and fear, right? Because that means that you're already putting that bad juju and that bad energy into what you're creating, and that translates into probably negative results, unfortunately. And so you just have to tap into what you feel good about and why it can be good for you, right? And what you're interested in. And I've seen so many clients translate their love and passion for certain not products, passion for certain things, and They've started out with one thing and then they completely now 180 degrees changed to the other thing because it was not their thing at the beginning, right? Had one client and she was really into trying to make birthday party invitations work and birthdays work, and she saw the potential in invitations and stationaries and all of that stuff. And all of a sudden she started making golf related stuff. And I said to her, hey, like this is a complete 180 from what you're doing. And I see the potential in it. Like you should just go for this. And she's like, well, I still want to push the invitations because I don't see the potential, but I know I'm making sales in the golf related items, but I'm still a little bit nervous because I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I was like, well, just go for it. Like, if you find it and you see it and it's working, then why are you not working on it? Why are you literally leaving the money on the table and not progressing and proceeding towards this goal in this future? And so she started to create a lot more golf related items and is now seeing a lot of success and is on all of the top searches for golf related products, golf club covers, golf balls, all of those things. And it's her, well, like she actually does love playing golf. And so she knows the lingo, she knows what people want, she knows the colors, she knows the etiquette, she knows all of those things. And so that translates into the products that she can create on Zazzle. And thank goodness Zazzle has golf related things because, not everywhere has things that like print on demand platforms have golf balls and golf club covers, golf towels, all of this stuff. It's very, very particular and very, very niche down. But for example, if you're passionate about pickleball, if you're passionate about baseball, unfortunately, and football and all of the other sports, they only have in basketball, they just have like the balls. Golf is a little bit more involved and has the other accessories as well, which is quite neat. But she tapped into this thing thinking that she needed to go for invitations and make money with that. And then now has seen the potential in the other areas where she actually truly felt passionate about. And so that's why I want you to really think about this as your homework today. We're going to wrap up in a couple minutes because I've now been on for about 40 minutes almost. And your homework is really looking at your niche or your niche. And if you're a part of our Profit by Design Academy coaching program right now, you probably know and have figured out what you are doing, right? We're working on it in our coaching program and you have it settled and niched down in from watching the PDA and the 5 strategies, etc. But you're always able to change. You're always able to fluctuate what you're doing. If something doesn't feel right to you, or if something all of a sudden clicks and you're like, hey, I've relived my like old found passion for knitting and sewing. I literally just did that. I have not crocheted or knit in probably 6 years. And the other day I started picking it up again. And I actually remember that I quite like it. And so if all of a sudden you're like, hey, I found something and I thought that I was doing this, and now all of a sudden I have this other passion and I really want to move into this direction and I feel really, really good about it, go with your gut, right? Clearly there's strategic action steps that are behind everything. It's not, I'm just not like, hey, go make, products all about cotton candy and see how that works. No, I would say do some research first, understand that there's a market for it, and understand the products that need to go into that niche, right? And researching if that niche is popular on Zazzle or not. If you are super niched down and there are, let's say, a community like Dungeons and Dragons. Let's do that because my brother likes Dungeons and Dragons, and I know that that's a huge community. It's a humongous community. People get together and they do tournaments. They play games. They get to like almost like speakeasy bars, and you get together and you play. As people prepare for Dungeons and Dragons for hours and hours and hours before they play a game because they have to get into role playing and all this stuff. So there are thousands and thousands of people out there who like Dungeons and Dragons, but if I started to put Dungeons and Dragons stuff on Zazzle, I don't know if that would work or not. There's a market for it, for sure, but is it the Zazzle market? And if there is a market for it outside and externally, then Zazzle, then put your products on Zazzle and then cater to your community. Go to the Dungeons and Dragons bar or coffee shop or Facebook group and say, hey, I have these products on Zazzle. And not even that, just say, I have a product on this store that I sell, and you can get customized, personalized dungeons. Well, clearly you can't do Dungeons and Dragons because it's copyright and all that stuff. But if you were to do something related to the theme of Dungeons and Dragons, right? medieval type stuff and say, hey, I'm selling these medieval type things on Zazzle, and I know that you play Dungeons and Dragons, so come to my store, right? So there's two different options for you, because if you're very, very niched down and unfortunately you can't see those things on the Zazzle marketplace, then you have to do some external work and provide people the links externally. But if you're on the Zazzle marketplace and you see that there's a niche for you, like home decor, like sports related equipment, but then niche down and say, okay, modern home decor, minimalistic, rustic home decor. I have a lady who's, she's very into farmhouse, rustic, country living, horses, animals, mountains. Imagine living in the States in this beautiful area with mountains in the background, and you have a ranch and all that stuff. And she's creating these products that are catering to that type of lifestyle and that type of person who likes rustic things in the countryside. Right. And also has, a religious aspect to it or not. And understanding that that is something that people can buy on the Zazzle marketplace and that you can cater to. So really, really figuring out where you fit in, and also the design skills that you need. And the design skills come extra, right? You can always learn and also purchase graphics. But if you need help and you're here watching this video because you have been online with me for now 40 minutes, if you're like, okay, I understand everything that you're saying, it's all conceptual, right? I get the idea, I understand the information, but the implementation is where I'm going to struggle. And the struggle is the implementing of the design and figuring out what to do and how to do it and all these things. That's where the Profit by Design Academy coaching program comes in. And we are releasing, or we are opening up our doors to the PDA coaching program in the next couple of weeks. If you are interested in getting on the wait list or understanding a little bit more about the coaching program, then you can go to elkaclark.com or email us, because we want to help you, and we want you to know that there is help out there. Okay. And I know what I'm talking about. I've helped make people a lot of money. Elk and I, we have helped our clients sell over $165 million worth of Zazzle product. And that statistic was actually taken in December. So that's 2 months ago. And so we definitely have our clients making even more money than that. And some of our clients who are our highest level clients are making over upwards of $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Clearly, you don't get there overnight. And so this is where we take to tell people that it takes time to understand how the Zazzle platform works and how to build yourself up and to create those products that work for you. And so that's why myself and my mother, Elka, are here for you, to help you understand how you can potentially get there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for spending 40 minutes with me here. If you didn't watch the live video yesterday, then go ahead and do so. It's about weddings and the popular and unique products that are available in the wedding market. And I would love to hear your feedback and comments on this video if you liked this video or found it useful, because clearly having feedback and knowing how you feel makes me feel good, makes me feel that you got information out of everything, and also that you are, gaining knowledge, because that's the reason why you're here on this video, right? Understanding what you can learn more about the Zazzle marketplace and how you can be more profitable. All right. Thank you so much. And we will see you later. Yes, useful. Thank you so much. Awesome. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining, and we will see you all later. Bye.